Let's be honest, most business books are exactly the same. Woo-woo mindset stuff, big words, and zero practicality. The Sweaty Startup isn't that. It's not about chasing your dreams or manifesting your best self. It's about rolling your sleeves up, building something real, and doing it before you think you're ready. These are the 3 lessons that hit me hardest when I read the book. They shaped how I run the business, how I coach, and honestly, how I make decisions in life in general. And listen, I'm not going to keep you long today because sitting on YouTube goes against the whole point of everything I'm going to share with you in this video. Lesson number 1, stop worrying about making the right decision, make the decision and then make it right. Everyone thinks there's a right move in business, and I'll be the first to tell you that there isn't. You just need to make a move, see what happens, and then adapt on the fly. People waste months trying to make perfect plans. They tell themselves they're being smart. I'm strategizing, bro. But most of the time they're just scared. I know I was. Scared of being wrong, scared of wasting effort, scared of wasting time. So they hide behind planning because planning feels productive. Here's the truth though. Every big win that I've ever had started with something that looked half-baked on paper. Most of the bad decisions that I've made came from waiting too long as opposed to rushing. Trying to think it through was the problem. The things that I acted on, even when I didn't have all the answers, gave me the data, momentum, and the confidence to make it right after the fact. And that's the point. You can't edit what you never published. Think of it like a guided missile. When it launches, it's almost never on target. It spends most of its flight slightly off course, constantly adjusting every single time. But it can only adjust once it's moving. If it never launches, there's nothing to correct. Business works exactly the same way. You won't know what's wrong until you're in motion. That's not reckless. That's feedback, and that's what you need to get better. So make the call. Pick the thing that you've been avoiding, the offer, the message, the product, whatever it is for you and your business. Then the next step is just to set a deadline. Decide. Then make it right as you go. Because the people that win aren't the ones that get it perfect. They're the ones who start, then they refine, and then they move faster than everyone else. It's as simple as that. Lesson number 2, speed creates progress, haste creates problems. It'd be super easy for you to misunderstand lesson number 1 as me telling you to rush. I'm absolutely not. Speed is not the same as rushing. It's discipline applied quickly. Most people think that moving fast means being messy. It doesn't. It means knowing exactly what the next step is. This is the first step. And then cutting the rest. Forget about everything after that. Speed creates learning loops. You get feedback faster, you test faster, you grow faster. Haste, on the other hand, just creates a blur of unmeasured activity that burns time and energy with nothing to show for it. And I know you know what I'm talking about. The difference is intent. Speed is, I know what I'm testing and I'll fix it after. Haste is, I'm panicking and I'll do everything all at once. I know you've been there. I have. It's like a chef in a busy kitchen. Speed's the chef who knows their section, keeps it clean, plates fast, and doesn't waste motion. Haste is the new guy who is running between stations, dropping pans, burning steaks, and blaming the stove for all the shit. Both are working hard. That's not in question. One's moving forward. That's the difference. The same thing happens in business. One coach ships an offer every 2 weeks, we'll say. He learns, he adjusts, he learns again. Another coach spends 2 months tweaking fonts, filming the perfect reel. The first one's doubling their pipeline. The second one's still in Canva fucking around with the brand pack. Speed creates momentum. Momentum creates data, and data tells you what the fuck to do next. So if you want to move faster without breaking things, the first step is define what done looks like before you even start. Then set time boxes, a 2-hour window, not a 2-day window. Execute and then review. That rhythm right there. Move, measure, modify. That's what keeps you sharp. Speed builds confidence because it gives you evidence. You'll stop guessing and you'll start knowing. That's the kind of speed that wins, not the kind that burns out. Lesson 3, resourcefulness is better than resources. Most coaches think that they need more stuff, more tools, more followers, more help, more budget, you name it. No. You just need to use what's already in your hands properly. People love blaming a lack of resources because it feels like a valid excuse, but it's never the resources. It's about the decisions that you make with the resources you already have. When I started out, I had no camera, no mic, no nothing really. I just had an iPhone and a shitty little £15 light from Amazon. Everything looked like shit, but it worked because the thing that builds trust isn't the perfect production. It's the proof of consistency. The same applies to business every single day of the week. The best businesses didn't start with fancy software or everything at their disposal. They started with sweat. That's a writer downer. Someone showed up every single day, solving problems and doing the boring stuff that no one else wanted to do. Look at the sweaty startup guy. His name's Nick Huber. The guy built multi-million-pound companies in boring markets. Storage, landscaping, cleaning. Because he executed when everyone else was trying to perfect all the bells and whistles. Everyone else around him was chasing sexy. He chased simple. He didn't need better tools. He needed better grit. Resourcefulness is leverage. If you can find a way to make something work when it categorically should not work, then you become fucking dangerous. Because when you do get resources later on, money, team, reach, you name it, you'll multiply the skills that you built the business on already. So instead of saying, I can't because I don't have, insert the thing here, ask, how can I with what I've already got? That question will change everything. You don't need better equipment, you need better creativity. You don't need a bigger audience, because everyone loves to talk about that. You need to serve the one that's already listening, even if it is 50 people. You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting it on things that don't matter. Trust me, that's a big one. Resourcefulness is a skill at the end of the day, and the next step is to build it. So they're my big 3 lessons from the Sweaty Startup. They changed my business, they definitely changed my wider life, and I really hope they do the same for you too. But there is a 4th ingredient, and that ingredient was the glue that held everything together. It's as simple as being in a community where people are on the same path as you so you can hold each other to account. Now the bad news is, it usually costs tens of thousands of pounds to join something like that. The good news for you is, if you click the link in the description below, you can join our free school community where there are over 600 coaches, all in the same position as you, looking to scale their business. We've broken it all down into lead gen, sales and delivery, everything you could use. We're going to keep pumping that bad boy full of resources to keep you cooking. See you on the inside.